Hey everyone, welcome back. Sorry for last night's not posting. Feeling so much better this evening, and so I just kind of want to get on with the homework. And thank you all, everyone, for doing an excellent job in math today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for participating and really making an effort to want to know and learn the division. Okay, so the first problem, we are doing 2.6, page 89 and 90. I know that there was another class that I probably assigned something different, so I wanted to get through this one, and then I'll go through the next one. So let's take a look. I had given you the answers on here for one of the classes, and the answer is going to be, for number 1, would be 43 with a remainder of 9. Your job was to prove that that answer is correct. So I'm going to take my handy-dandy paperwork, and I'm going to move it over here to number 1, and it's just going to be 18 goes into 783. Now my first step is I need to find out number of groups. How many groups of? So I can do how many groups of, and the groups of 18 will go into, and I'm going to put my first number is 7. How many groups of 18 will go into 7? Because I'm splitting this up. Well, it will be 0 because 7 is less than 18, and it has to be equal to or greater than. So I'm going to put a 0 on top. Next, I'm going to do 18. How many groups of 18 go into 78 will be my next number. So right here, I'm going to put that number of groups. The next thing I need to do is to find the multiples of 18. 18 times 1 equals 18. 18 times 2 equals 36. Because 2 times 8, I see where I'm doing. Thanks for shouting that out. 2 times 8 is 16. I regroup my 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 18 times 4. 4 times 8 is 32. Regroup my 3. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. Okay, so now I'm at 72. Do you think I can put in another group of 18? Possibly not. So I'm going to stop here. Well, to prove it, I'll do 18 times 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Regroup my 4. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9. So that's way too big. So there's going to be 4 groups. I'm going to place my 4 right here on top of the 8. Let me move that just a little bit over so I don't pull those together. And so I've already did my multiplication because I know that 18 times 4 equals 72. And then I'm going to take my difference out. 8 minus 2 equals 6. And I'm going to my next stop would be, I'm going to move this down here, would be to bring down. So I'm going to bring down my 3. And the next step is start again. So I can put start again, I can write repeat, and those are the acronyms that we have in our journal. So you can use the acronym, or you can just write this down, the rules down. Again, how many groups of 18 will go into, and now I don't have 78, but I have 63, because that is my new dividend, because I need to make this smaller. So I'm already here, and 90 is too big, so that's not going to work. 72 is too big, that's not going to work. My next one, oh, look at what we did. We didn't do the 3. I just kind of jumped that. So let's do 18 times 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Regroup my 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So I think that's going to be the closest we can get to it. So I'm going to use my partial quotient. Would be here. 3 times 18, I already know. It's 54. And I'm going to take the difference, regroup my 6, that becomes a 5. Now 13 minus 4 is 9. And so my quotient is equal to 43 with a remainder of 9. We were talking about an inverse. Just do it on a couple of problems to show the inverse. Using the inverse, I'm going to take my quotient, 43. I'm going to multiply that by 18. Starting in my ones place, moving straight up. 8 times 3 is 24. Regroup my 2. 8 times 4, so I'm moving it this way, is 32 plus 2 is 36. I'm done with my ones, and so in my ones place I put my 0 to hold that spot. Now I'm moving this way to my tens, and I have my 1. I'm going to start with my tens going to my ones place, so 1 times 3 equals 3. 1 times 4 equals 4, and I'm going to add those up. 4 plus 0 is 4, 6 plus 3 is 9, 3 plus 4 is 7. Am I done yet? Look at what I made a mistake. I'm so glad I went back and I checked, because that was 8 times 4 is 32 plus 2 is 34, and I went and put the 32 down. Okay, I'm sorry about that. All right, so I have 8 times 4 is 32 plus 2 is 34. And now I can add this up. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And there's 7 there, so it's 774. I'm not done because I had a remainder of 9. So I need to add the 9 in there. 9 plus 4 is 13. Does it look like I'm right there on track? Carry my 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Do I have my 8 there? I do. And I have 7 plus 0 is 7. So does my product match my dividend? Okay, let me... So I apologize for that. All right, so now I'm at 783, and they match, so my answer is correct. The next one that we're going to go to is number 2. 22 goes into 4,722. Again, how many groups of 22 go into 4? None. How many go into 47? Well, I know that 22 times 1 equals 22. 22 times 2 equals 44 because I doubled that up. And it looks like that's as close as I'm going to get. So 22 goes into 47 2 times. That gives me 44. I'm going to subtract out 7 minus 4 equals 3. I'm going to bring down my 2. How many groups of 22 go into 32? 1. That's 22. Because 1 times 22 equals 22. Subtract out, bring down my next 2. All right, and now how many groups of 22 go into 102? So let me go ahead and multiply. I know it's an even number because it's infinite and even. 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 times 2, that's an 88. Let me go ahead and try 22 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. So that's going to be too much. So I'm going to use the number 4 groups. That gives me 88. I'm going to subtract that out. I need to regroup. Can't take anything from here. From here, that becomes a 0. This becomes a 10. I can regroup my 10 to a 9. And now my 2 becomes a 12. And this is 12 minus 8 equals 4. 9 minus 8 equals 1. And so my 14 is less than 22. So I'm done. And my quotient is 214 with a remainder of 14. Okay? Sorry about that. All right, number 3. I gave you the answer this one was 214 with a remainder of 14. I gave you the answer of 15 with a remainder of 51. You needed to prove that one. So 56 goes into 891. 56 cannot go into 8, but 56 can go into 89 one time. If I doubled that one, 56 times 2, which is doubled, that's going to be 116. So that's going to be way too big. So this is 56. I'm going to subtract that out. 9 minus 6 equals 3. 8 minus 5 equals 3. And I bring down my 1. So how many groups of 56 go into 331? So I'm going to start with my 5s. 56 times 5. 5 times 6 equals 30. Regroup my 3. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 3 is 28. Does that look like it's going to be the closest to? Absolutely. If I put another group of 56 at it, it's going to go over. So this is 5. This makes it 280. Subtract that out. 1. I need to regroup. So 13 from 8. And what does that give you? 5. And so is 51 less than the 56? Yeah, so I'm done. That's my remainder. So my quotient is 15 with a remainder of 51. And that's what I got right here. And so you're correct. Let's move on to number 4. At any time again, if you need to pause it, go back and look at your division. That's what you need to do. 19 goes into 3,192. Again, we had the answer of 168, and you needed to prove that answer to be correct. 19 cannot go into 3, so I put a 0 right above there, but it can go into 31 one time. 1 times 19 equals 19. I need to subtract that out. 3 becomes a 2. Bring it over here. 9, 10, 11. 2 minus 1 is 1. I need to bring down my 9. Okay. Now how many groups of 19? So let's multiply that out. 19 times 6. 6 times 9 is 54. Regroup my 5. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 5 is 11. Is that going to be closest to without adding another group of 19? Yep, otherwise I'm going to end up going over. So this is 6. And this is 114. Subtract that out. 9 minus 4 equals 5. 2 minus 1 equals 1. And I'm bringing down my 2. Now, how many groups? Well, we said our answer was going to be 168. So let me check that out. 9 times 8 equals 8 times 9 is 72. I'm going to regroup my 7. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 7 is 15. And there you go. This is 8. That's 152. Subtract that out, and it's 0. So my quotient is 168. Is that what we received here? And that answer is correct. Number 5, we said that the answer was going to be 2 with a remainder 47. All right, so now let's check to see if that one's correct. So number 5, I have 63 goes into 173. 63 cannot go into 1. It cannot go into 17. So let's do this. We know that 63 times, so we need to see how many times it can go into 173. Well, I know that already 63 times 1